Yeah, assalamu alaikum. This is Brother Clifton Raheem Bradley from out of Chicago, the United States of America. This video, and there will probably be five or four parts, is to learn about Islam and the misconceptions of Islam and why Islam is hated by a lot of people in the Western world and globally. And the COINTELPRO probe about spies going to Islamic mosques and Ramadan and why we pray five times a day, and the misconceptions of media and Ramadan Mubarak. This may be after Ramadan, before Ramadan, and you can use this as a case study to know what we were talking about in year 2025 about Islam. And it's not to convert anybody, this is to give knowledge. And I hope to get half a knot from it. And Islam alaikum. Embracing Islam, I have Brother Lonnie Lewis on, it's a brother who I worship with in Chicago in the United States of America. He is a researcher, was a basketball player. And you know what? He is a researcher. Now I'm very proud. All praises due to Allah that he accepted the invitation to come on the Underground Railroad podcast, and we do a television show that comes on every Saturday night at 10:30. And I encourage people to call up with questions about Islam. Okay, so let me bring him back in. Assalamu alaikum, brother. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, walaikum salam. Ramadan Mubarak.
What's the Ramadan? I forgot what's the Ramadan Mubarak. Then I respond back Ramadan Kareem. Yes.
Same thing, same thing.
Yes. And you know what? I'm gonna talk about Islam and brother. Um First of all, brother, give people just a brief introduction of yourself.
My
Okay.
name is Lonnie Lewis. I was born and raised here in Chicago. I went to the University of Wisconsin Indiana High School, first of all. Went to the University of Wisconsin Parkside. From there, I started my career as a EuroLeague professional basketball player. Started in Austria, France, Italy, Spain. I traveled all over the continent in a career that lasted 20 years. I started researching. My education really came over in Europe. But I had the time that I had, my spare time, I would visit museums, I would go to the library, go to different sites, see things that, average people can't see. So that broadened my horizons, and I started dealing with Mesopotamian history and Black
Mm-hmm.
history and reading books and seeing artifacts that I didn't find or see here. And so this brought me to the sense of realization that, the world is big, it's vast, and there's a lot of knowledge to be acquired out there. And so that's basically my background. Um, as far as being born and raised here, my career, and then some of the things that I've learned and studied.
And you know what? I don't even think I should have the music on because some Muslims consider this haram. But this is entertainment. I don't know what the ruling is on it, but you know, brother, I would like to. You know what, brother? I would like to ask you. You know what? In America, Islam is demonized, and it is misunderstood. And there are people that believe that Islam is a threat to the sovereignty of the United States, Western civilization, and the world. Okay. And it is misunderstood. I mean, you have people like Muhammad Ali, you have people like Luau Sender, okay, Kareem Abdul Jabbar, H. Rap Brown, who are famous at, and I think, don't quote me on this, I think I heard somebody say Madonna accepted Islam, but I may be wrong on that. I may be. I would like to ask you before, when we are started, why is Islam demonized? Why is it demonized? Why is Ramadan? They, like in the United States, they didn't even have anything too much about Ramadan. Why is it so misunderstood? And then can you address it?
First and foremost, you got to look at it's been a lot, man. It's been a lot. You got to look at as Christianity at first was, and it still is one of the world's largest religions. Okay,
Yes.
you got to deal with a lot of different elements to understand why Islam is hated and why they propagate it like it is, and why you see the terrorism, you see this, you see that. I'm gonna break it down in a few seconds. You don't mind.
Oh,
The hate started doing antiquity before, thousands of years ago when Islam was first coming into prominence.
yes.
Because first of all, it was a mutual jealousy.
Hmm.
There's scriptures in the Bible, there's scriptures in the Torah that point to the advent of a reformer, of a new prophet
Yes.
for all religions. Peace and blessings be upon Mr. Prophet Muhammad. Some will dispute this and this and that, but you got to look at how that book has been changed. The hate
Hmm.
stems from, you had to deal with the Knights Templars. You had to deal with different secret organizations, the Crusaders who fought in the Holy Land that came
Yeah.
and terrorized both Jews, Christians, and Muslims
Hmm.
before the Crusades were the Muslims coming to fight against or forming to fight against those Christian nations that sent their soldiers to pillage the Holy Land.
I must
Okay, that's
ask you
one of
something before. I must ask you something from a
yeah.
standpoint that the Muslims they never initiated the battle; they defended themselves. If I'm incorrect, let me know.
No, nine out of 10 times Muslim armies defended themselves. I say
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times because when they were attacked as Islam was starting to gain traction, as Islam was becoming the religion of Arabia, you
Yes.
know, we don't say Saul back in the days it was Arabia before the family of Saul came to power and it became Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Um, when they fought the Quraysh, when they fought different other tribes, okay, sometimes they attacked. Sometimes they went to meet the other opposing army, but sometimes they attacked. That's war within your country.
Did
But other
did
than
did
that,
did did they
they
attack
didn't
because?
initiate.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
they most. I said nine out of 10 times. Sometimes they had to attack to defend themselves, but nine out of 10 times the armies were defending themselves. 9 out of 10 times throughout almost every conflict that they had.
Okay.
So when they say it's a religion of hate, it's a religion of war. These are misconceptions. These are misconstrued uh, fibs, as we say,
Yeah.
to keep people distorted, and keep them away because it's new. It's new. It's the last of the three religions:
Hmm?
Judaism, Christianity, then Islam. And Islam is projected to do, wonderful things, great things. People are becoming Muslim day in and day out. If the religion was a religion of hate, if the people that practices were haters and
Hmm.
demonized people and all were terrorists, then people wouldn't be joining from all walks of life. You got white American women here who have become Muslim. You
Hmm.
have women in Europe who have become Muslim. The problem is that when you see your people joining something that you are against,
Yes.
that becomes a problem. So now you got the demonized. Then when you get into the terrorism part of
Yes.
Islam, you say Muslims are terrorists. Nobody asked the question, why are people terrorists? How do they become terrorists? You see what I'm saying? And what are their objectives? In
Yes.
order, 9 out of 10 times,
Yes.
if you have a terrorist, is somebody that has been terrorized before.
Yes.
They don't tell you their complete history. They don't tell you the complete history of the country we call Israel today when it was Palestine. because you got to understand, you had Palmash,
Yes.
Leahy, Ear Gun, and we have four major paramilitary groups operating in Palestine from 1940 until 1948, when that country changed names. They
Yes.
ran into village. They killed 200 and some people at the King David Hotel in Jerusalem. They
Yes.
assassinated Lord Bernadotte, who was the
Yes.
Red Cross representative to initiate the two-state solution. You know, every time they ran into villages, Dar Yassin is one of the villages most noted. They killed 100 to 200 some people, women, children, babies, and elders. You know, they terrorized, they consecrated graves. People don't know this because they do not put these in your history books for you to know who you're dealing with. But these are the same people that all of a sudden now, when the role is sort of reversed, it can't be fully reversed because you have more power. Well, they are terrorists. You terrorize British, you terrorize Palestinians. That's why they call it the Nakba, the catastrophe, because it was catastrophic for them to be driven from their homes and dispersed throughout the Middle East and to Europe and to America, wherever they kicked them out at. In Jordan, the majority are in Jordan. You know, you got to understand what terrorism is. You have to be terrorized, and this is why everybody right now, they saying then some of these groups, they form ISIS and all these ISIS-K and different other groups, offshoots, the Islamic State and this and that. These groups, philosophy based on Wahhabism.
Yes.
Okay.
The Wahhabis. Okay.
There you go. There you go. So now that's what you're dealing with. And so now they project that and they magnify that all over the world. You know, it's like the terrorists, they teleport. It's just like before, you know, little beanie with the mask on, the little kid in the black neighborhood robbing and killing people. It seems like you see his picture on every television station around America. Like he teleports from one city to another. You see what I'm saying?
I like that. I like for you to address something. You know what? If for the people that think that Islam is a religion of hate and that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went around persecuting people, forcing them to Islam, which we know in the Quran that it says there's no compulsion in Islam. Did he force people to come to Islam? Can you address that? And going around intentionally trying to slaughter people to say you're going to be a Muslim. Can you address that?
We could take the country of Spain.
Okay.
I believe Spain was under Islamic control for 3 to 4 centuries, maybe a little longer. Centuries. The Spanish ran the government. The Muslims collected tax as the quote unquote the conqueror, which was common. The Romans, every conquering army did the same thing. But they installed law. You paid taxes. You were a Jew, you were a Christian under Muslim control, you were protected. You paid taxes like everybody else, but you were protected. You wasn't secluded or separated. If you were able to go in society like you were, practice your religion freely, you were not prosecuted. You know, Spain, look it up, the history of Spain. You got mosques in Spain. You got different type of relics of Islam still in Spain today that are respected. You know, so the hate comes from, first of all, it was prophesied that Judaism would go so far. Then came Christianity. It would go so far. And then it would become a third religion. If these religions failed to do what they were supposed to do, Allah would bring about another religion that would spread and propagate throughout the world, you know, because you got different religions. You claim you this, you claim you that. When you look on TV, what do you see? What do you see? And this is in the name of Christianity. You see men acting like women, women acting like men. We have women, men in women's sports competing, and which
Yeah.
is which is it should be unlawful. You know, they
Yes.
talk about what's this the DEI, which is what's that
Yes.
diversity, equality, and whatever the other one is. You know, but you are trying to force something that don't work. It would never work because you're pushing this policy. You see what I'm
Yes.
saying? Of non-gender identification policy. You're telling us there's 99 different genders. Islam is against all that. It's not against the individual, your habits, your ways, and your practices, and the things that you're doing contrary to what God said. Now, if they were correct, if this is quote unquote, it's a Christian nation, the nations in Europe, France, Germany, every last one of them in Europe are Christian nations, even Russia with our large Muslim population.
Hmm.
They're Christian nations.
Hmm.
Okay. So now, yes, go ahead.
With Christian, you know what? Go ahead, brother. Finish your thought, because I got other
So
questions. Go ahead, brother.
yeah, so these Christian nations, you know, through the Crusades and through everything and through a mutual jealousy, because now there's a new prophet that's going to surpass Moses, that's going to surpass Jesus, that's going
Hmm.
to bring not only a new religion, but a
Hmm.
law, a
Hmm.
earthly law, how to dress, how to eat, how to live, how to protect your family, how to protect your women, how to protect your children. If you lose control of your children, can you protect them? You see what I'm saying? It brought
Yes.
about these laws, and some say, "Oh, it's strict." Now the women they dress, the women dress the way they dress because it has been prescribed. You are a woman. You are beautiful. Don't
Yes.
strike your jewels, your breasts. You know, don't dress a certain way. You can let your hair down at home in your family, but cover up because men are always looking at you lustfully and with mal and bad intentions against you. And people
Hmm.
in society would judge you because you are covering up your virtue. But as I said on the last show, you don't hear the same thing about nuns. They don't talk about why nuns got on the habits and this and that.
No.
But it's always when it comes to Islam, but they don't talk about they don't talk about the Kurds. They don't talk
Yes.
about Armenians. You go to different parts of the world and you see how they dress. Them women ain't letting it all hang out. They got on long skirts. Sometimes they cover their head, and most of them are not Muslim. These are their traditions. In Russia, the women covered their head, as you see
Hmm.
from old photos. They had long dresses. They wasn't out there like they are now. And
Hmm.
so that is a hate that stems from the religion being different, and the religion is a law given. It most of the Western world has copied their judicial system. They have copied their ways of life from Islam. They don't want to tell you this, but they have. Astrology and every other thing, mathematics, Islam has produced a lot of things, scientists and artists
Hmm.
and poets and all of that.
Let me say, for the people that are listening, you know what, you are encouraged. This is a live show, okay, and you're encouraged to call up what you may want to leave. You may not want to be seen, so just leave a question for the researcher in the chat room and share this video and give it a thumbs up, a thumbs down, because this helps with the algorithms, so it'll send out a signal the way you know what, hey, this is video, YouTube, or whoever social media want to promote. Well, my next question to you is, brother, how could Islam be characterized as an evil and malicious and hateful religion by some groups outside of Islam, if they pray 5 times a day? Do y'all we pray 5 times a day? If we're if there's can you tell them first of all why do Muslims pray 5 times a day?
First and foremost, it keeps your mind on Allah. It keeps your mind on
Okay.
God. It keeps you away from all the distractions and things you see every day. Everything every day. It's like you're in a fish tank and fishes are going by, different clothes, different colors, different cars, this and that. It keeps you focused. It keeps you grounded as a person, first and foremost, because
Mhm,
you know you're here. You have a purpose in life. You know,
mhm.
you're not just a wanderer here. You know, so it keeps you grounded. It keeps you grounded as a person. It keeps you grounded as a religion, and it keeps you intact with the millions, the billions of Muslims around the world as we
Mhm.
all face Mecca and pray. You know, different times because we got different hours. You know, different countries. Certain countries are ahead of us. Certain countries are behind of us. But it's the same thing. And at the same, yes, sir.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not going. Then I got other
And at the
questions.
and at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, at the same time, you know, it helps you to focus. You
Yes.
know, you're praying five times a day. You don't have time for you, you know to let the mind wander and distractions and this and that. Don't it doesn't mean that you're not able to function to do what you do. But
Mhm.
the main reason is first of all the remembrance of Allah, the remembrance of
Yes.
God. Why you pray, if you're thanking Him, you're thanking Him for all that you have, all what you don't have, but you have life and you can get.
Hmm. And you know what, brother? When we talk about prayers or salats, there are 5 daily prayers. Could you tell us what are the 5 daily prayers and when are they done and what does it represent? Five starting with Fajr, but go ahead.
Well, you got the five prayers. You know, first one in English. You got the morning prayer. Then you have the noon
The morning
prayer.
is Fajr, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay, please tell
Then
us the
you
name.
got
Okay.
yeah. Well, for some of the audience, they wouldn't. That's why I said the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the afternoon prayer. You have the mid afternoon. You
When
have the
the mid afternoon, okay, the morning is called Fajr, and let me
hmm
see, the other one is called Zura. Is that not, if I'm pronouncing it correctly?
yeah, hmm
Okay,
and
okay,
then you have the sunset prayer. Pray after the
oh,
sun go down. You know. Then you have the
yeah,
evening prayer.
okay. At
Okay.
sunset,
Oh,
for people that's called Asa. Asa.
yep.
Okay,
And that the let me get it
when we
right.
break our fast.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, yep. That's McGreb.
It's when the sun goes
um,
down.
yeah, the sunset prayer is McGreb.
Okay,
You know,
and
and then
then
you have a supplementary prayer you can do at 1 o'clock, and
now the next one is Isha. Isha.
with PM.
Okay. Next one after Maghrib is Isha. The,
Yep,
that's the
that's
last one.
nighttime.
So let me break it down for the audience. You know what Fajr is when before the sun rises. Okay,
Mm.
that's when you make Fajr prayer. Okay, when it comes sort of down to like the middle of the sun, then Zora. Okay, then Asa after that, and then when it's nighttime, or close to, it's called Maghrib, and that's when Muslims break their fast during Ramadan. And then Isha, okay, is the last salat. I have a question that when we talk about these salats, how could a person demonize a religion and there are people that are kneeling down on their head in Shajat, in Shahud, and making this. Why would you demonize somebody that's seek refuge in God or Allah? Why?
Because every Muslim is not a Muslim. And
Mm-hmm.
I say that to say that this is why laws were established, because man is going to be man. But when you say that this guy is a terrorist or this and that, most of them are getting bad information. You got to look at the poverty rate. You got to look at the illiteracy rate in some of our Muslim countries. Okay, which some as high as 70, maybe 75% of illiteracy. Okay, so I'm quote unquote, I'm not an imam, I'm a religious person. Somebody just pop up. I can pay you, or I can tell you this is what you're supposed to do. And through your illiteracy, you see, I've indoctrinated you to do certain things. We're going to do this. We're going to blow this up. We're going to blow that up. And it's not just in Islam.
Yes.
It's in a lot of religions. You had the Christians. The Crusades were what? The Crusades were terrorizing people in the Middle East because the kings of Europe got together and decided they was going to pillage Palestine, Constantinople, which is Istanbul, Turkey today, but it was Constantinople at the time, and just do what they want to do. We're going to impose our will, our force. This is the Anglo-Saxon, and these are the derivations of the Anglo-Saxons throughout Europe and France, etc. They all related in one form or fashion, and this is what they do. And so now, when you compare that to the Islamic terrorism, you look at why. My first question is why. Then I go and I do the research. I see what was done to a segment of the population, a segment of people. I see the brutal oppression. I see the things that's been done by the Christian nations, so-called Christian nations of the West, who always come in peace, but they leave with with everything that you have. They murder you. Look at Africa. See what they done. You look at Australia. You look at Canada. You look at America. And you see terrorism. You see biological terrorism. The first, I'm gonna get to the second case of biological terrorism happened in America. Sir Jeffrey Amherst, British general. He infected blankets with influenza and gave it to the Indians as a gift. Decimated almost the whole tribe so they can take their land. That's biological terrorism. But see, when you are a Muslim, they will magnify everything you do out of context.
What your grandfather was doing. Any message for your grandchildren? Great.
Because I happen to have known someone who was in the NSA.
Okay.
All right? And they don't know what they'll know now. I've been in their building with him. Did you see it?
Yes, sir.
And they,
some people don't know what NSA is.
The National Security Administration. And when I walked up in there and seen them, it's like they were my whole life. Wow. They got video screens I mean, from here to 35th Street.
Those street cameras, right?
That was the screens like you watch on a computer.
Right.
All right.